Let's go now with Toe 3D Crystal Rose. Says, hi Ave, I hope you're doing well. I'm a creature character artist who's received a review back in November. I've published a couple of updates since. I volunteer with an indie studio afterward. That's nice. I'd love to learn what my portfolio needs to be elevated, what's holding it back from success, and where it falls flat. My external holders, backdrops for final renders, and Photoshop compositing. I envision my character environment, but I'm sure how it's done. Diablo presentation. You want to do something like this. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is really good. Nice. Did we not review this one a couple of months ago? Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't remember. We might have, to be honest. Okay. My really like Marco Lasso, Michael Franzen, really okay. Thank you for your feedback. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, I remember this one. And you said you have a couple more characters, like this one right here. Mr. Hill, Shadow Hills Manor. Yeah, nice. This looks very nice. Cool stuff. Good textures, very gory. Remember, Crystal, and we've talked about this before, we do need to see wireframes, okay? We do need to see wireframes and breakdowns. You were asking about that, and this is what we see right here. So as you can see, these are the breakdowns that we see. There's a little bit of a wireframe right there. Clay render of this character right here. Now, I understand what you're mentioning. I understand that you really like seeing something like this, like the character in-game. So here's what you can do, and this is perfectly valid. Go to, let's call it Fab now, right, from Epic Games, and go to the Quixel elements, okay? Quixel Castle or something, and you're gonna find all of these assets right here: rocks, walls, stairs, columns. Download this. It's perfectly fine to use this because you're not an environment artist, okay, Crystal? You are a character artist. So if you want, just download some of these assets right here, build your own little scene inside of Unreal or inside of Marmoset or inside of any other software, and use that as a backdrop to get closer to what we have here, for instance, from Juan Manuel. Right? Because I'm not even sure that he did all of this stuff. I haven't read the description. Maybe he did. But if he did and he just like collaborated with someone, it's perfectly fine because as you can see, we see the character in context of how this character would look, right? So it's perfectly fine to use assets for your presentation. Just make sure that you include on your information that you are using assets from a library or something so that people don't get the wrong idea that this is not done by you, okay? Now, on this one right here, again, I really like this. If you want to show some of the other shots, show some of the sculpts, show some of the ZBrush grabs. I think your presentation is fine. We're just missing some of the sort of like the cinematic presentation approaches for the character. And I'm not sure if you checked the portfolio workshop course that I have on my site, but you could use even Blender or again Marmoset, even the Marmoset course. If you check the first chapter of the Marmoset course, that one's completely for free, and you could use Marmoset to add just a little bit more life here to the character, so it's not as flat, okay? This one looks a little bit better because you're using, again, some more interesting lights. Great stuff. The only thing with this one is it seems to me that you just did like a Siri mesh thing right here, right? Again, it can work. I'm not against Siri mesher, but usually for games, you probably want to optimize things a little bit more. I'm not sure. Did you do Siri mesher? Kind of looks like Siri mesh because you're only using ZBrush. The textures look great, like really good. I really like the textures. It's just that I don't feel that this might be as optimized as some of the other pieces. So yeah, because the sculpt, man, like Crystal, you got this really good sculpting like skills. Like it's really tight. It's just presentation that we need to go for. And you actually had a nicer presentation, I think, of this one. Like I really like how you presented this one right here. I don't really care about the backdrop as long as I can see a cool character and a little bit of a ground plane right there. So my advice, if you were gonna be doing this or that sort of like presentation for this one, again, just get some assets. Just get some assets from Quixel or from Fab or whatever, and create a little scene so that you can showcase your character in the best possible way. Okay? Let's see. Of course, the one time I submit my mid portfolio, all the other portfolios are bangers. Nah, don't worry. When will the next portfolio review be? On we're actually I wanted to say this, guys. I think we're probably gonna be skipping June. I'll confirm this in the next couple of weeks for portfolio review because we have a lot of stuff on June. We have our anniversary stream. We have the submissions for the competition. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff. Either we're gonna push it a little bit closer to the middle of the month, or we might skip it on the next one. We have the release of the new course as well. Solid Mango is saying right there. So yeah, June is gonna be a packed month. So yeah. Tom Meskin says, this channel has been super helpful for all of my school assignments. Does anyone know what the workflow would look like for a high poly character after the sculpt with advanced materials? Without UVs, you're probably going to be doing something like polypaint. You can check that on the Oni course. This one. So on the ZBrush for character artist course, I change the, or not I change, I do all of the painting and the texturing inside of ZBrush, and then we take this into Marmoset, Blender, no, not Marmoset, Blender and Maya to do the rendering. So this character has no UVs, and you can still render it sort of like very, very nicely. So if you want to check that one, that information happens here in Chapter 9 with textures, with polypaint, and Chapter 10 with presentation. All of that is available right there. Let's go to the next one. Hamster. You know what, Crystal, we'll talk about this soon as well. We'll do a sort of like a presentation render. We've done them before. We've done them here on the channel, but I'm going to do a dedicated video soon about how we could take a character and, and present it in a nicer way, okay? We're probably going to be using Marmoset there.